Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and in this video I'm going to show you how I built a gaming PC for a viewer. Now, this is a behind the scenes look, and I thought I might get dressed up for the occasion in the prawn suit that I like to wear at the weekends. And if you don't know what that's all about, go check out my gameplay channel, which is linked in the description, because I like to play games while wearing this suit. But anyway, that's a completely different topic. What I want to talk about is how I built a gaming PC with the NZXT H7, which you should see behind me, and how that took months to do, but that's not the point. The reason for that is, I'll get to in a minute. This is a behind the scenes video, and if you want to see just the build guide on the case, then check out the link in the description, because that will be one of my more normal videos. This one's going to be a bit different. I want to talk to you about how I basically decided to build a case and a PC for a viewer, because one of my viewers is particularly special, and his name is Meaty Keyboard. That's his online name. Obviously, he isn't really a Meaty Keyboard, but he has been a supporter of my channel for a good few years now, and not only a regular viewer, but also a member of my channel. So you might have seen his name in the YouTube membership thanks bit of videos that I regularly do. So you can see him just popping up every now and then. He just appears, and I sometimes shout him out in my videos, and I should give him more thanks because he does support my channel, along with a lot of other awesome people who will also be listed in this video. But he has been the longest supporter and one of the most involved, regularly watching and commenting my videos. I wanted to do something nice for him. Now, NZXT was kind enough to send me a case that they wanted built in, and a motherboard, and a power supply unit. And I went and bought myself an Intel ARC graphics card, because Intel said they weren't going to send me one. They didn't have enough review samples, and they wouldn't send me one. And I wanted to build a PC without spending thousands of paying for a really expensive graphics card. And so I wanted to see how the Intel ARC A770 would perform. I've done a video separately on that if you're interested and want to check that out, and I'll link to that in the description as well. But the process for building this PC wasn't as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. Now, NZXT was kind enough to send, as I said, a motherboard and power supply unit, except one thing happened in transit. Somebody stole one of the boxes, or it went missing. We don't know what happened to it. It just never arrived. So I had a case, but no motherboard and power supply, which is obviously a first world problem. And eventually we got that sorted out, and then I went to go and build it, and I realised that I didn't have any DDR4 Ram, because it's a Z690 motherboard, which supports Intel's 12th gen of CPUs, but it also uses DDR4 Ram. Now, I've built quite a few PCs over the last few years, and somehow I've managed to dwindle my supply of DDR4 RAM, and I had DDR5, and I assumed I'd be fine. Now, this is a story that's happened twice to me in the last few weeks. It turns out that both a Z690 and Z790 motherboards, there's quite a few of them with only DDR4 RAM. Anyway, long story short, I bought some DDR4 RAM, and then Kingston was kind enough to send me some extra, so I've been using it in multiple places now, and I have crafted a budget build, or what I would say is a budget build, that includes an NZXT N5 Z690 motherboard, the NZXT H7, and more. Now, obviously, I've done a video on all these things, but I want to talk a bit about the sort of behind the scenes of it, because what you've seen is me build a PC, but what you haven't seen is the sort of logic that went into it and the thought processes. So while building that PC, it also dawned on me a few other things. One, I could do a video on how to upgrade your CPU, because that 12th gen motherboard supports not only 12th gen, but also 13th gen. Now, one of the difficulties with moving to a new CPU on an older generation motherboard is sometimes you have to update the BIOS. And boy, let me tell you, that was a problem. But you can flash the BIOS with a USB stick and just a button on the back of the motherboard. So that's pretty neat. I thought that's a video idea in itself, which I've not done yet. And I did a video on how to upgrade your CPU and all the different steps of that. I also obviously done a video, or will be doing a video, on the case, the power supply unit, the cooler, the motherboard, and the graphics card. So when I build a PC, I don't mess about. I like to do videos on basically everything that I get. So I'm actually multitasking here because my goal was to build a PC for a viewer for free as a gift to say thank you very much for supporting me. Now, I've said in the past I don't do giveaways, and I have no intention of doing giveaways. So don't get your hopes up that that's going to be the thing that's going to start happening. Because mostly I don't have enough time for that admin side of things. And yes, it would be lovely to be able to give stuff away. But also there's a sort of selfish reason for it. And it's not that I don't want to spend money on you, the lovely audience, the very few people that are going to watch this video properly. It's actually because I don't have the time to admin it, and because I want to grow organically. I feel like, this is my logic behind it anyway, I feel if I did competitions and said subscribe for a chance of winning this PC or this keyboard or a signed Prawn suit, that people would subscribe for that and then they wouldn't watch the video, so they wouldn't be a valuable subscriber. They would inflate my number possibly a lot quicker than it's going, so my subscriber count would go up a lot faster, but those people wouldn't be genuine subscribers like maybe yourself, who have watched my videos and enjoy the content that I create, and therefore I would be cheating the system and possibly creating myself a problem where in future YouTube would analyze this data, go, these people don't watch his channel at all, and then kill off those subscribers, or maybe they'd be seen as bots, or maybe people would use bots just to try and enter the competition. So I want organic growth. And when I get to 100,000 subscribers, which is obviously going to take ages because I'm only at 59 at the moment, I want to be able to say, yes, I've done it. That was all me, all hard work and dedication. So although I won't be giving away anything for the moment, I am giving away stuff that I've built in a gratitude kind of way. And because, you know, this is a sort of multi-part thing where I'm actually using this process to not only create a nice video about how I'm giving somebody something, but also, and I want to make a point here that I'm not doing this to say, look at me, I'm awesome. I'm doing it to say that MIDI keyboard's awesome, and I really appreciate him. But also, I just want to show all the different thought processes that go into building a PC and all the different things that I was doing. Because, you know, the other issue, of course, is with the Z690 motherboards, is that they're LGA 1700. And, you know, a Prawn that's done a lot of builds on Z690s and might have run out of brackets and standoff screws for those. And sometimes coolers don't come with the right standoff screws for that. But luckily, a DeepCool had already sent me a couple of air coolers, and those do fit, so that's good. I've also got another DeepCool AIO build coming up, so watch out for that. Well, I've been doing a lot of PC builds, and I've got a lot more coming, so if you're really into those things, then subscribe. And if you're really, really into those things, click that join button, because who knows, you might see those videos early. Or maybe next year I might be building a PC for you. No, well, I'm not necessarily going to make a trend out of it because I can't just give stuff away for free all the time. I spent £400. Actually, it was about £600 on this PC because I bought the RAM and I bought the GPU, and the other things were kindly donated by people. And very much thank you very much to Kingston and to NZXT for the support in this, and hopefully MIDI Keyboard will enjoy that. Oh, and Intel as well. So thanks very much for that. Obviously, they get content in return, and hopefully the views that they'll appreciate, and you enjoyed watching the videos. So that's really the gist of this video, is just giving you a behind-the-scenes look at all these things, all the different steps and thought process that I go through. If somebody says, hey, we'd like you to build a case, I go, okay, what stuff have I got that I can build in there? Can I make it interesting? And then what can I do with that? And in this case, it's ended up being all sorts of things, including how to swap your CPU out. I've also had another thought about a mistake that somebody made that they sent me in Discord. This is getting really off track now, so hopefully you're sticking with me. Somebody sent me a message on Discord to ask about whether their fan setup was right, and I noticed they actually had their fans the wrong way around. Their bottom fans were set to exhaust air and their top fans are set to intake air, which is actually a mistake I made a long time ago, to be fair. But because the bottom fans were pulling air out, obviously they're fighting the GPU because that's trying to pull air in, so you got two lots of air current. So I'm thinking maybe I should do a video on all the things you shouldn't do when building a PC, and also the simple things that you should do. Some basic tips for that, for example, that I've learned over building and building and building, is plug in all your PSU cables before you start building your PC, because that makes life a lot easier. Set up your fans beforehand, because that makes life a lot easier. Install any CPU brackets, standoff screws and other things before you put it in the motherboard, because that makes life a lot easier, because you end up with a case where you can't access the back to put a back plate on, or you've got your case standing up and you try and put the back plate in and it keeps falling out. Stupid little things like that might make for really useful videos for the end user. And then simple things like don't put your fans the wrong way around, or don't try and use DDR4 Ram in a DDR4 motherboard. Well, apparently you should see the insulting comments that I got on that video, by the way. I was trying to be helpful. Anyway, I've waffled on long enough. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the build in the background, and if not, go check out the links in the description to find out more, and let me know in the comments if there's any burning questions that you'd like answered, or things that you'd like to see me do. If you've seen some of my videos recently and think that's a great idea, please give me more of it. I was thinking about, for example, doing my favourite PC cases, or my favourite fans, or something else. It could be anything you want. Just put the suggestions down there, stick them in Discord, come say hello on Discord, follow me on Twitch, click the join button, do some things, help me out, or just subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up. I appreciate you. Thanks very much for watching.